Okay, ladies. So we're gonna do half an hour of Tanya, chapter 13. This is our part 2. And all the classes now are on YouTube. We're becoming a little bit more techy. So if you want part 1, you can go back and listen to it. All right. I want to say something about the Torah and any part of the Torah that we study. The Torah is called Hashem's Chokhmah, Hashem's brain, Hashem's thought. And it really is it's not only the blueprint for creation, it's a manual for life. It's like if we're at night in a forest and somebody will give us a flashlight and a map. Right? I mean, even if we go out to the mountains, if you don't have a map, and then it becomes dark and you don't know how to come back. You don't know how to navigate. You can fall into a crevice. You can fall into a hole. There's so many things that can happen. And the Torah is not a panacea. It's not like a magical pill. Okay, you study Torah, you observe Torah, nothing's gonna bad happen to you. That's not true. Things will happen. But at least when you're in a dark hole, you're going to recognize this is a dark hole and this is the way I can get out of the hole. That's all the Torah does for you. But something that, I'm about teshuvah. I came into this. It's like almost 30 years ago. I started. And there's something I see in that. There's something I see in life is that every story of the Torah, every part of the Torah, every Pirkei Avot, every midrash, it's not just a story. It's not just somebody telling us very nice philosophy. When we go through life, these concepts come to life. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a book that now is like a 3D book, and all of a sudden situations in life come about. Like you say, oh my gosh, this is like, I'm in like this chapter of the Torah. I'm in like, this is what the animal soul and the divine soul are fighting inside. This is what it feels like. And that's what the Torah is about. The Torah is not a history book. It's not a philosophy book. It's a book about life. Hashem is telling us this is going to happen. The Arizal says the 20 stops that we had in the desert, 22 stops that we had in the desert. How many? 42? Okay. In the 40 years that we were there, that's going to happen. Each stop was a test. Those are our tests in our lifetimes. Sometimes like in a day. So when we're going to speak about what's happening in the mind of the Beinoni, Hashem is telling us this is happening in your mind. You need these concepts for survival. It is like a survival kit. Okay, that's where I'm coming from. Okay, my job here is not to tell you just to read off this page, because a computer has more information than any of us could have in a library. I think that the job of a teacher is to convey a feeling and to tell you, this is true. This is not just, some philosophy. This is really true. Okay. All right, with that preamble. Okay, so we're on page 188, okay? And it's telling us, chapter 13, what's going on? Your name is? Inbal. Oh, like the hotel, right? Inbal. What's going on in the brain of the Beinoni? Okay, we already know that this Beinoni, he has 2 souls. We already know that. This is the divine soul here. He has an animal soul And the animal soul, the seat of it, it's the left part of the heart. The divine soul uses the right part of the heart and the brain. And in any situation, what chapter 13 is about is that the brain of the Beinoni is a court, is a courtroom. And there's actually 3 judges. So I think for you, a lot is going to be repeat, but they tell us in Torah law, we never have a judgment with just one judge. Either it's going to be a case with 3 judges, right? You have a monetary case, you can go to 3 judges, or we see in Rosh Hashanah, right? We have to annul our vows. And then we set up a little makeshift court with how many? 3 judges, right? So either 3, or if it's a capital offense or more serious and it's 23, it's always an odd number, right? Or the Sanhedrin had 71 judges. So it's always an odd number, okay? So chapter 13 is telling us in the brain of the Beinoni, it's a courtroom. And in any given situation, and it could be like, you know, do I eat the chocolate cake? like really hard decisions on it. So it says like this. First, we can put little colors. My animal soul, right away, because it's impulsive, this is emotion, it's going to send from the left ventricle, it's going to send, it's like the judge is going to give a ruling. Yes, eat the chocolate cake. Right? Live today life, because tomorrow you never know, right? Just live it up, right? And I could use chocolate cake. It could be an illicit relationship. It could be, you know, do I scream? Do I get depressed? Do I, you know, jump from the balcony? It could be many things, but the animal soul, it's an animal. It's an animal. It's going to react, and it's going to react fast, and it's going to send up. It's like, this is a judge. In this moment, it's like judge, and he has given his ruling. This is my opinion, okay? But we know that when there's a court of 3 judges, right? It's not just, we don't rule by the one judge. Then what happens? Then the divine soul kicks in. And the divine soul is another judge. It's the second judge. And the second judge uses the head. And it says, wait, you didn't eat your chicken and potatoes yet. No chocolate cake yet. Wait, this person is not for you. This person is not convenient in your life, right? Wait, don't steal, right? Keep your hands to yourself. Wait, don't get depressed. So it'll send from the brain to the heart, right? It's like a second opinion. So now we have 1 against 1. So who wins? We have 1 against 1, and that's what we said. All our courts are an odd number. It can't be 1 on 1. But thank God for us. Who comes to our help? Who is the third judge? Welcome. Who is the third judge? Who's the third judge? We're calling you another judge to the court. Here comes in His Majesty Hashem. That's the third judge. So the third judge comes and gives his opinion, his ruling, right? So now we have 2 against 1. Who wins? Hashem's side, right? So what is so incredible about this concept? Because if this is Hashem's Chokhmah, it applies all across the board. It doesn't just apply to the Beinoni. If I'm not a Beinoni, that doesn't mean it doesn't apply to me. It's telling us, first of all, we need, what you say in Spanish, you need ganas. You need ganas. You need to activate yourself. You need to have this divine soul despierta, You have to have it alive. Come on. Because if my divine soul is sleeping, okay, so the animal soul is going to give its opinion. The divine soul is out for lunch. So who's going to win? Right? But when my divine soul is awake, when I have nurtured it with Torah, I know. Now I know. That's why we study Torah. Because now the divine soul knows, hey, this person is not for you. This is not a good relationship. Get out of it. Right? Don't even start it. That's what it's telling us. Now, when my divine soul activates itself, Hashem says, you make an effort the size of the head of a needle, I'll open for you a whole world. Then Hashem comes and says, hey, this is my ruling also. I am with the divine soul. And now it's 2 against 1. So what is it telling us across the board? It's telling us in life, in any situation, when I am going to assert myself, I want, what is it telling us? Hashem's going to come to my aid. Hashem is going to come and help me. That's the beauty of this concept. Are we together? Because to me, it's like, I'm going to tell you, I can't go into the details, but yesterday I was in a very test. Hashem put me through the test. And you know how test comes in life? The test comes when you least expect it, right? When you think you're going to have just like cruising, nice, afternoon, lunch, whatever, you're going to just, all of a sudden, this ball from left field hits you in the face and it says, hi, many years ago, when I just came into this country, I was 10 years old, there was a public TV system, right? Channel 2, I don't know if it's still that. There's still, okay, so every once in a while, we're watching a program and all of a sudden there was a beep, beep. This is a test. This is a test from the public TV system or broadcast system. This is a test. Hey, this is a test. That's life. When we least expect it, a test comes our way, right? So I'm in this situation. It's a very not nice test. Like I couldn't even believe my eyes and my ears were like in this situation. And I'm just telling myself, Vivian, just do what Hashem wants you to do, and Hashem will help you. You don't know how, you don't know where, you don't know how Hashem is going to get you out of this one. You read this in the Tanya, you taught it today, right? I gave us a class the day before. Hashem will help. We have to do what is right. I don't know how, I don't know. And I'm telling you, I was like living this like before my eyes. Okay, not easy, still not easy, but okay, it's a test. All right, so 188. The help that God grants him is the glow of divine light that illuminates his soul. So, how does Hashem help us? How does he manifest himself? It's like a glow of divine light that illuminates his soul. How can we empathize with this? Like, how can we feel this? When we have been to Jerusalem, the Kotel, right? How inspired are we? Friday night at the Kotel, how good is that, right? When we leave, you leave the Kotel, you leave Friday night, how do you feel? Like something is like a warm light is with you, right? And sometimes when we're trying to light our candles here, sometimes we're thinking, oh, I want to like feel a little bit of like, remember what that was. That's the glow. That's like the glow. That's Hashem like speaking. Are we together? Yeah. Often it happens to me. You're in Grove and there's a little voice, very, very soft, telling you, buy the cottage cheese. You say, no, I have it in my house. I have plenty. No, I haven't. You get home, what happens? you're in the last, now my husband and I are eating cottages every morning. So, and the cottages that they sell are like the little pots, you know, like little, they don't last. So like, why didn't I listen to that voice? That's the voice that was telling me, that's Hashem. Hashem speaks very softly, soft, right? But I didn't want to listen. Because if you don't want to listen, you're not going to listen. If you want to listen and Hashem will speak, my God, then it's 2 against 1. What does the alohabet tell us? If I have a problem, a Jew has a problem, my heart aches. What does he tell us to do? Go speak to another Jew that is your friend, that wants the best for you. Why? Because where does coming bad feel come from? Where does, when I feel my heart broken, where is it coming from? It's coming from my animal soul. There's no broken heart in the divine soul. Divine soul is always happy because it's always in sync with Hashem's plan. Whatever happens, that's a very high level. My animal soul feels bad. So I go to speak to another Yehudi, another Jew that also has a divine soul, right? That I can empathize, that can hear me out. And then when I leave, what do I say? Oh, I feel so much better. Maybe they didn't resolve my problem. Maybe nothing changed in my life, but what do I feel? Oh, I feel better, right? Why? Yes, alivio. Why? Because the alohabet tells us 2 Jews will be 2 divine souls against 1 animal soul. The animal soul is egoistic. It does not want to share, even its negativity. So if I feel bad, I don't have to worry, oh, I'm going to make the other person feel bad. I don't want to burden them with my problem. I better not speak. It's not true. It's not true. Because the other person will come with their divine soul. Your animal soul does not want to share. So it's 2 against 1. Okay? All right. So, 3rd paragraph, 188. Do you all have? Do you want anybody that came late? Okay. That it may gain superiority and mastery over the folly of the fool. It's calling it the folly of the fool, the evil inclination, a dominion paralleling the superiority of light over darkness, as has been stated. So, how do these judges, 2 against 1, do they have to put up a fight? Do they have to punch the animal in the face? No. It's the same as light over darkness. How does light dispel darkness? Effortlessly. You just light a match. Why is it effortlessly? Because light is truth. And please remind me, I want to go into that word, emet. Light is truth. What is truth in Torah is always, forever. And the animal soul is momentarily, so it's called sheker. So it's not true. And that's why it vanishes it, because it was never true to begin. Darkness is the absence of light. My husband always asks a riddle. He has his particular sense of humor. Is a zebra a white horse with black lines, or is it a black horse with white lines? Una cebra. Is it a white horse? Es blanco y tiene líneas negras, o es negro y tiene líneas blancas? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know the answer. I mean, what that riddle is trying to tell us is what really is the zebra? Is it white in essence, or is it black, right? Okay. I don't know the answer to that one, but I do know the answer to this one. What is true is light. What is true is the divine soul. What is true is emet. This is momentarily. That's why it's called not true. Okay? So that's why when we assert ourselves, when a little bit of light, a match is lit, this just effortlessly leaves. Okay? All right. So The Alter Rebbe now goes 188 in the bottom. The Alter Rebbe now goes on to resolve the contradiction and answer. No, are we here? Oh no, just a little bit of light vanish. Okay. Vanishes much darkness. So is the abounding folly and darkness of one's evil inclination driven away by dint of little light of holiness emanating from his divine soul. It is this ray of divine illumination that constitutes God's assistance to the divine soul. Are we all together? Do we get it? Are there questions? No? Okay. Yeah. Nobody understood anything. The Alter Rebbe now goes on to resolve the contradiction and answer the question noted in the opening words of the Tanya. The Talmud states that a Jew is charged with an oath, okay, to regard himself as wicked. So if we see the Tanya in the first chapter of the Tanya, let me just get a Tanya so I won't say it wrongly. So the whole premise of the Tanya is described in the first opening page, in the first chapter. In the first chapter of the Tanya. So I'll tell you, ladies, when I studied in Brandeis University, I had to take a requirement of Music Appreciation 101. The only thing I learned in Music Appreciation 101 is that when you study a composition of classical music, you need to listen very hard, very carefully to the first stanza. The first stanza, you know, the whole composition is an elaboration of that first minute or so. Okay, that's it. It's like more instruments, less instruments, faster, you know, slower. But that's the whole composition. So too in the Tanya. The first stanza, the first opening paragraph on chapter 1 says, we have learned in the Talmud, in the tractate of Nida, chapter 3, an oath is administered to him. Who are they talking about? They're talking about a soul before we come to this world. So mother and father, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more today. Mother and father give and make the physical body, okay, when in moment of conception. Hashem takes a soul from the world of souls and puts it in this body. And that's what creates a baby, okay? We together? So the body is like the uniform of the soul, because without the uniform, it can't come to planet Earth and do what it has to do, okay? All right. So when we get our body, when we're put together with a soul, we have to take an oath, just like in the military, right? The initiation. Don't they do the initiation by the kotel, right? The initiation of the soldiers, they have to take an oath. What's the oath? The oath is, I pledge allegiance, right? I pledge allegiance to my country. I pledge allegiance to Hashem. I pledge allegiance, right? Are we together? Okay, what's the soul that our soul, what's the oath that our soul has taken? It says like this, be righteous, be righteous. Be righteous. Be righteous. Be a tzaddik. Tzaddik. And do not be wicked. Don't be a rasha. Yeah? So it's saying to us, be a tzaddik and do not be a rasha. And we already know that if you're a tzaddik, that's a portion that Hashem has given you. So if I haven't been given this portion, what does it mean for me? It means try to behave like a tzaddik. A tzaddik only listens to the divine soul. So it's telling us, try to listen to the divine soul. And do not be a rasha, because a rasha listens to the animal soul. Are we together? Yes? And so I'm trying very hard, and I'm trying to behave, and I'm trying to listen to my divine soul. And so I'm doing things that are right, right? So then the whole world comes to you and says, oh, you are such a tzaddik. Oh, you're such a tzaddik. You're such a tzaddik. Oh, you behave so nicely. You for sure are tzaddik. And so what is the completion of that oath? It says, and even if the whole world, is telling you, judging you by your actions, tells you you are a tzaddik, what does it say? Regard yourself as a rasha. Remember that you are a rasha. Imagine, this is the whole premise of the Tanya. Which, where does it leave us? In ambivalence. I'm not a tzaddik. I have an animal soul. I'm trying to do good. People are telling me, you're so good. You're beyond, you're beyond good and bad. You're so great. And the ambivalence is, don't believe it. Remember that you are a rasha. And inside of us is I always ask this question, are any of us beyond stealing, lying, murdering, getting depressed, losing our cool, doing something illicit? Is anybody beyond that? We're not. That's the truth. We are not. Now, can we control ourselves? Can we behave nicely? Yes, we can. But that doesn't mean just because I behave nicely, even, every day of my life, that doesn't mean I don't have this inside of me. This burning fire and this burning animal that stays an animal. That's what it's saying. So where does it leave us? In a big ambivalence. It's like an ambivalence, right? And Hashem is saying to us, and this is perfect. Good enough is good enough. We are like in a tightrope. We live in a tightrope. And that's true. And every day, and it's not just you, and it's not just me. If we are not a tzaddik, this is where we are. And it's perfect. That's how Hashem created us. But here, he's telling us, I want to help you. You're not alone. You're not alone. Thank God, we are not alone. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's not, we're never, in what you call terra firme. We're never on solid ground. Just we never get there. We're always going. We are always like trying. I'm going to be good today. I'm gonna pass this test. I'm gonna make it this hour. I'm gonna make it this decision. We're always, it's the journey. Life is the journey. Because we're never gonna get there until Mashiach comes. That's what it's telling us. Are we together? Mm-hmm. Is this understandable? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. Okay, so here we are.
So it's like you have to be aware every time and control yourself. If not, the tendency is going to be a rasha.
100%. And even though if I'm a wonderful wife and I'm a wonderful mother and I know how to listen, I have to, every time, every situation that comes, I have to think, how am I speaking? Where am I thinking? How am I looking at my children? How am I looking at my husband? How am I behaving? Because it's not automatic, and it will never be automatic. It will always be an effort. Yeah?
Because in Christianity, I
Yeah.
thought that we were like
Bad.
Nothing to do with, okay, but in Christianity, you have this, that you are born a sinner.
Yeah.
So it's, wow, it's like, I mean, this is not a sinner, but you're You can be
First of all, Christianity came.
I
and
know.
they try to copy from us, but the premise in the Torah, we're not born of sin. It's the other way around. We have a very holy soul. Hashem has given us a very holy part. Now we have within us the possibility of falling down. That doesn't mean that I have to fall down. Just, have you taken a walk in the mountains? Sometimes, there's very narrow paths and I could fall. And I could die. I could fall. That doesn't mean I'm going to fall. That means that it makes it even more exciting, right? Doesn't it?
What is more exciting?
The journey. I went once, many years ago, we went in Cinque Terre, I think it's called Cinque Terre in Italy. And it's like little towns. And in between the towns, you can go by a ship, or you can go, I don't know if by car, but we went walking. And walking between the mountains, that unite these little towns. And let me tell you, sometimes it was like, whoa, if I take a wrong,
It's a cliff.
It's all cliff. It makes it more exciting. The views are beautiful, right? It's like thrilling. Hey, I can do this. That doesn't mean it doesn't require effort. That's what life is. So we are not bad. We can fall. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So the Talmud states that a Jew is charged with an oath to regard himself as wicked. 189, whereas elsewhere the Mishnah declares, be not wicked in your own estimation. So, my father, Allah Shalom, used to say to us when I was a little girl, all the people are good. And then another day, all the people are bad. It's like, Papi, which one is it? Like, are all people good? So they're telling us, consider yourself a Rasha. And then they're telling us in another place in the Talmud, wait, it's not a good thing if you think that you're a bad, because that's like bad self-esteem, right? If you tell a child you're bad, okay, so I'm bad, I'm gonna show you how bad I am, right? Okay, so also, if a person considers himself wicked, he will be grieved at heart and depressed, and will not be able to serve God joyfully and with a contented heart. So another number to our equation is not only do we have a divine soul and an animal soul, but in order to fully activate my divine soul 100% to its potential, I need to do it besimcha. Because when I am besimcha, when I am happy, there's nothing I can do. I feel like I feel like Superman. I can do this, right? When I'm not feeling 100% happy, oh my God, I have to prepare Shabbat. Again, to cook, and again to cook. Okay. So, all right. He now explains that the meaning of the oath, which literally reads, be in your own eyes like a Rasha, is not saying that we are a Rasha, we're like a Rasha, is that one regard himself not as an actual Rasha, but as like one, having traits similar to those of a Rasha. This means that he must consider himself a Beinoni, who possesses the same evil in his soul as does a Rasha and can desire evil just as a Rasha. So he's saying, don't consider yourself that we are a Rasha, that you have to listen to your animal. Rather, think of yourself as a category of Beinoni that has that Rasha impulse, as we say, but he has the ability to contradict it every time. So just because I got the desire of jealousy, or I got the desire of doing something that is, a bad thought or something, that doesn't mean I'm gonna get down on myself. That means that that's my nature, but I have every possibility of countering my nature. Are we there? We're gonna leave it here, okay?
What does it say something about it?
So we're gonna see it in the letters. Okay, thank you for reminding me. So these, if you can give them in, or next week, I'm not here. So next week, classes will only be by Zoom. And then the following week, I'm gonna be in Israel. So let me see how we do that. Because if not, I'll make up, I know that you need all the classes for the college. So maybe if not, I'll make up classes. I don't know how to do from Israel. Okay, you have to leave.
¿Me podrías firmar las muertes también?
Sí, mamá. ¿Dónde estamos?
Yo creo que estos dos.
¿Está? Ok. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna now do the letters, okay? So I'm bringing you one of my books, very nice book. I bought it many years ago, many years ago. I don't even know how long ago. I could never like fully get into it, and now, thank God, through teaching, that's the way that I learn. By teaching, I really have to get it. So it's coming in. It's great. Okay. So last week was an introduction to this class. Yeah, and I have many books. Also, I found amazing, wonderful classes online. I have to get you the names of who I'm listening, because be careful online. I also found a class that said alohabet, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay. And it was like Jews for Jesus. It was like, careful. You should, just because you see alohabet doesn't mean that it's for us. There is though wonderful classes that is Jews for Judaism. This is very interesting classes. Okay. All right, so let's go. So there was a Hasidic rabbi, Rebbe, that after Rosh Hashanah, I said this yesterday, that after Rosh Hashanah, he receives a message from heaven that there was a Jew in town that prayed better than him on Rosh Hashanah. So this Hasidic Rebbe was very curious, and he sends for this Jew, and he asked him, I really want you to tell me how you prayed for Rosh Hashanah. And what does the Jew say? He lowers his head. I'm ashamed. Are you trying to make fun of me? And he says, no, really. I received a message that told me in heaven that your prayers were received much better than mine. I want to learn from you. He says, well, actually, you know that I can't read or write. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? Analfabeta? Illiterate, thank you. I'm illiterate. And I went to shul because it was Rosh Hashanah, and I saw everybody praying so nicely that I wanted to pray, but I don't know how to read. So I just sat there. I said the alohabet with all my heart, the whole Rosh Hashanah. And then at the end, I said, Hashem, please, I don't know how to read. I don't know how to pray. I hope that you put together the words up in heaven. And that was his prayer. That was accepted better than this. So the alohabet, they tell us, you know, it really touches our soul. The alohabet are really the building blocks of the world. Hashem used the alohabet. It says, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, right? So in the beginning, Hashem created the heavens and the earth. The Messenger Magid, we have said that in Bereshit bara Elokim et, that word et is superfluous, and the Messenger Magid says that et means first Hashem created Aleph to Taf. And with that, he made the world. So if we understand what each letter means, that means that we're going to decipher what the essence of each thing in the world. And that's what Adam had. Adam possessed a knowledge, much like Bezalel years later, the 13-year-old that made the artifacts in the Mishkan, that could actually understand the spiritual components of each thing, which means he could understand the letters that make up each article. Okay. All right. So we're seeing the letter Aleph, and we have our letter Aleph here. Letter Aleph. Okay. So just to recap a little bit, we said that in this, I always lose my little thing. Okay. The way to understand the letters, it's like when we play a game of Monopoly, first we have to know the rules. So what are the rules? First is the shape. The shape of the letter tells us much about what it's about. Many of the letters in Hebrew are composed of other letters. So for instance, in the Aleph, what letters do we see? We see, we see the Yud, and what else do we see? The Vav. Excellent. Okay. So we see. ¿Me quieres ayudar con las letras? Can you find the Yud and the Vav? Thank you. So we see a Yud up here, a Vav here, and a Yud down. Okay. So the shape is telling us that what is Hashem trying to convey to us? Because each letter is like a chemical formula. It's telling us a whole story is behind it. So the Yud above represents Hashem, represents spirituality, represents the essence of God. Okay, so we have Hashem. Thank you. We have Yud, right? The first Yud is the smallest of all the letters, so it represents potential. Okay, and because it's on high, it represents the spiritual potential that Hashem infuses into his creation. Okay, the Vav is okay, not working. The Vav is, they tell us in Hebrew, it's considered a hook, like the hook of the curtains in the Mishkan. So in English or Spanish, what would the Vav be? It would be like a hyphen. It's connecting. It's a connector. It's like the hook here. It's connecting one thing to another. Okay. So we have a Vav that is slanted. So this is representing Hashem connecting to the Yud down here, which is the creation. That's just to keep you awake. So, okay, here, it's gonna be here. I'm not putting it out. All right, so the Aleph is telling us transcendental, infinite, trying to connect to physicality. The creator connecting to his creation. And back also, this is how we connect to Hashem, okay? Which is the essence of all the letters. We have said last week that the letters are like the barcode. Okay, that's our barcode. Our Jewish name, that's why it's so important. That's how we connect to Hashem, and that's how Hashem sends blessing to us. This is, and that's why when a person is sick, what happens? Their barcode is not getting enough energy, so they change the barcode. They add a name, they change the name, because this barcode is not being effective in doing this. This is like from up to down and down to up, okay? All right, so first is the shape, right? They also tell us that this is also, but I can't see it. They say it's the shape of the head of a ram with the horns. If you see it, you tell me, but I don't know if this is the head and this is the head. That's what it's written. Okay. Another thing, another premise of how do we study the Jewish letters, the Hebrew letters, is the number. So what is Aleph? One, numero uno. So what does numero uno means? It's Hashem. It means supreme. Right? It means perfection, indivisible, all-knowing, the first, the only, yes, not only one, it's Yahid. It's not like he is one God and there's other gods. No, he is it. Yes, all of that, absolute perfection. Okay, all right. What's another way that we analyze these letters? Are by the sound. What's the sound of the Aleph? Not really. I also thought that. Huh? Silent. And I think that is so. They're telling us so much there, because it's neutral. Because it's telling us Hashem gives to the creation, but Hashem is silent, and it's up to our creation, to us, to do something with it. What do I do with the energy that Hashem is giving me? What do I do with the mazal? What do I do with the opportunity? What do I do? Because I'm gonna put the sound to my Aleph. Hashem gives me Aleph, but what am I doing with my Aleph? Yes? Okay. What's another way that we, yes, indivisible. You cannot divide it. Okay? All right. So we also teach Spanish, English. Okay, what's another way that we see it? We see when we spell out the word. Spell it out. So Aleph is also, it's Aleph. How do you spell out Aleph? Lamed. Hey, okay. So Aleph, Lamed, Pei. So what is it telling us about? Very interesting. See? Huh? About what? Aleph, okay, beautiful. Aleph is 1,000. We're going to talk about that. I can't find the Lamed. Okay, Pei here. So Aleph means also the champion, the general, okay? But also Aleph is 1,000. Why would the same number that is 1 be 1,000? What is it telling us? What is it telling? What is Hashem conveying to us with the same Aleph being 1 to 1,000? It means that Hashem gives you 1, but Hashem can make 1 be 1,000. Hashem can change everything, right? You plant 1 seed. Hashem can, if he wants, he could multiply. You know, you can invest in the stock market. You can put 1. If Hashem wants, overnight, it's gonna be 1,000, right? But anyways, we have to do the effort. Remember, we have to do 1 effort, but Hashem can multiply. Okay, all right, but yeah, it should be there. A veces están pegadas. Okay, what is the Lamed? The Lamed is, first of all, we said Aleph is Hashem. It's also reaching to his creation. The Lamed is of the Limud, right? That he's a teacher, right? He's a teacher, and the Pei is the mouth. So Hashem teaching. He's the all-knower with his mouth. Thank you very much. Okay. So it also means the general, the teacher, the all-knowing. Okay. Now, with this spelling, you can also move the letters around, and then you have the word, as we said, Pele. What is Pele? Miracles. So Hashem with the Aleph is the same source that makes miracles. Okay, this was just a little bit of review. Okay, now we're gonna go. Okay, what else? Two more things here. It's also the first time, this is from the Jose of Lublin. He says the first time that the letter appears in the Torah, it's telling us something about this letter. So what is the first Aleph that appears in the Torah? And it's not as a preposition, it has to be the proper name. So what is it? Elohim. Elohim, okay? Elohim. So Elohim, Hashem has many names, and most of his names start with the letter Aleph. The name Elohim is judgment, okay? So right now, he's also telling us how Hashem made the world. And when we have thoughts, we can have many, many thoughts, right? And if I want to put a thought into words, then I have to think and abbreviate my thoughts, right? And I have to choose either this word or that word. And many times in class, what happens to me? I can't find the word because words are limiting. My neshama wants to say, but I can't find the word, right? Words are limiting. Elohim is limiting. Creation is limiting because Hashem is you. It's all over. He was, he is, he will be, even after creation, right? But creation is limiting. That's why there's a clock. That's why we have time, we have space. We're here for a time and a space, yeah? Okay. All right, so let's go. I want to play with, okay, and another thing here, okay, this is it, the first time. Sometimes there are some letters that appear as big in the Torah. And when does this appear? In the Aleph, it appears. When is the time that it appears big? In the word Adam. Okay? In the word Adam. And so it's telling us something about that Aleph. No, the Mem. Okay. We have the Adam. Okay? And because the first time that it appears in the Torah, the Jose of Lublin tells us that it's also telling us something about that Aleph. Okay, so what is the Aleph in Adam saying to us? Yes, he was a creator. He was the only man that really had no father and mother, right? Because Hashem made him. So Hashem made him, and he has this incredible. He was incredibly beautiful, incredibly tall. His eyesight, thank you so much. His eyesight, he says that he could see from one side of the world to the other. Hashem brought him. He had incredible knowledge. Hashem brought him all the animals, and he said to Adam, you name them. But the name that he gave in Hebrew wasn't just okay, my dog, I'm gonna call him Fifi, right? It was the name of his essence because he could see the essence, okay? So why is the Aleph in Adam big? Because it's told us that he thought a lot about himself. Ego. And that's why he fell. Because he thought, I know it all. I'm beyond. Remember when we just read in the Tanya, if the whole world is telling you that you're a tzaddik, don't believe it because you can fall. That's why he fell. Okay, so it's telling us something about the Adam. Okay.
Wait, how does this connect to Aleph? This is the first Aleph.
No, it's the big Aleph. Some of the letters appear one time big, and sometimes like the Aleph will appear small.
Like physically?
Yes, physically in the Torah. In the Torah. When does it appear small? In the word Vayikra. In the beginning of the book of Vayikra, Hashem is talking to Moses and says, he's telling Moses, and Moses says, I don't want to write that you're just talking to me. Can I just say Vayaker, like you happen to talk? And Hashem says, no, write what I'm telling you. So Moses says, can I just make a little Aleph? So the little Aleph by Moshe in Vayikra meant the opposite of the Aleph in Adam. An Aleph in Adam was his arrogance, and the Aleph in Vayikra is the symbol of humility. So imagine, with the same Aleph, we can either take what Hashem gives us and become arrogant if we lose sight of what Hashem wants, or we can take it like Moshe. And Moses, he was an amazing ruler, an amazing fighter, an amazing teacher, but what did he keep in mind? Everything I have is just because of the Aleph. It's just because of Hashem. And if you would give it to another person, perhaps it would do something better than me. Okay? So it's telling us a lot about the Aleph. Okay? All right. So let's play a little bit with the word Adam. So okay, here we are. So we're gonna analyze a few words today. We're gonna do Adam, we're gonna do Seremet. So the word Adam, it's telling us that he was created by Hashem, right? And let's look at the numerical value of Adam. What is the numerical value? Okay, we have Aleph is 1, Dalet is 4, and Mem is 4. Okay, so Gematria Katan, if we add up these numbers, they will give us 45, right? Okay. So they tell us that every word that adds up to 45 has some relation to it. Now, if we want to get even more ktana, we're going to say 4 and 5 is also a met. Right? It's also in the number 9. We're gonna stay with 40. So, what is it telling us just shot? Just when we look at it, it's the Aleph, and what is Dam? Blood. So we have blood plus the Aleph plus Hashem is Adam, is man. Right? So 3 entities create a person. What are the 3 entities that create a person that Tanya will tell us? What are the 3 entities? It's mother, right? Mother, father, and Hashem. Right? So how do we say father in Hebrew? Abba, or we just can say how do we say mother in M? Let's add up these. So, and Hashem we said will be represented by the Aleph. Okay. So Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, we have 3. Aleph is 1, and Mem is 40. So we have 41, right? So 41 here, plus the 3, plus the Aleph, which is 1, gives us how much? 45. Okay, so we're seeing that in the word Adam, it's telling us already about his nature, right? Now, why was Adam named Adam?
from? Mhm. From Adama. Okay. So what is Adama? Adama is earth, right?
Believe me, everything I'm telling you is not mine, okay? This is from all the classes that I've been listening to and what I've been reading. Okay, this is a synthesis. Okay, this is not, I didn't make this up. Okay. All right, so Earth, he was called Adam because he was made out of earth. Okay, now we already know that he has a divine soul, and this is what is the value of earth? How much this just No, I'm not talking about the gematria. I'm just talking about if you buy earth. It depends, right? So like my mother-in-law likes to say, how much does a chicken cost? Depends where you eat it. Right? You eat it in what do you call it? KFC, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, it would cost you a few dollars. If you eat it in a fancy French restaurant, it would be $100. The same with Adama. You go to the forest, you get some earth. It doesn't have a price, maybe a few cents, right? But if you take earth from one of the houses of Bal Harbor or Fifth Avenue, New York, it's very, very pricey, right? Because earth acquires its value according to what you do with it, okay? And so it's telling us about Adam, that Adam in this word also contains potential. Hashem has created Adam of earth to tell Adam, you are like the earth. The earth is pure potential. In fact, Rashi tells us in Bereshit, when you plant a seed, what has the potential for life? Is it the seed or is it the earth? The earth. You can have the best seed in the world. You can pay $1 million for your seed, but you don't have good earth, nothing's gonna happen. But you have so-so earth, and you plant a pretty good seed, it's gonna grow. So Adam is basically potential, which is telling us about ourselves. We are here to grow. And don't we do that with little children? Don't we, a little baby, don't we say, roll over, now that you roll over, now crawl, you're crawling, now walk the first step, now another step, now run, now ride a bicycle, now learn to swim, now go to school, now go to high school, now go to college, now go to work, now get married now. Don't we do that? Don't we like intrinsically like go to the next, go, because we, inside of us, we know as human beings, there's potential. That's what's so sad when potential is not realized or potential is lost. There's nothing more sad than that, because you say, oh my gosh, there was such a potential for that, right? Or you have such a musical talent, but you don't want to play music. No, it's such a shame, because we know Hashem has made us to grow. Okay? All right. So okay, and where do we see this also? Not only that we're made out of earth, but even in the word Adam, if we change around the letters, read, you're gonna like this one. Now that you know Hebrew, those that speak Hebrew. What does it spell? Meot. What is meot? More. More. That's the potential. Okay? All right. So let's go to another word. Emit. Let's go to emit. Okay? That starts with Aleph. This one is really nice to play with. So, what is emit? Truth, right? Emit is truth.
Okay, and as we said before, what is considered truth in the Torah? Something that is true always. Because a body of water that dries up once in 7 years cannot be used for a mikvah. You know, if there's a body of water because there's a lot of rain, but then it dries up next summer or next fall or next winter, that's not a body of water that's considered live water because it's not true. Okay, something for it to be true is to be true always. And I'll tell you a personal story. When I gave birth to my first son, okay, mind you, I'm about to shua. Okay, I went to college, right? I had a career. I mean, I had a profession, not a career. All of a sudden, I have a little baby, and I felt on my shoulders such a responsibility to educate this child. I said, there's nothing that I have learned in high school or nothing that I have learned that I want that's gonna be like really eternal. Because if I teach him math, it's gonna tell me one day, Mom, that math is passé. If I teach him science, it's gonna tell me, no, we don't, there's other theories now. And the only thing that I would find till today that I want to teach my children is Torah. Because Torah is eternal. And it's telling us this in the letter, in the word emet. Why? Because Aleph is the first letter in the Torah. Mem is the middle letter in the Torah. In the alphabet, sorry. And Tav is the last. So, something for it to be really true, it has to be true in the beginning, it has to be true in the middle, it has to be true in the end. Okay? If we add up these words, these letters, Aleph is 1, Mem is 40, and the last one is 400. How much is this? 441. And from Gematria Katan, we can add up the numbers horizontally, and this gives us a 9. The number 9 is the number for emet, for truth. Why? Because any number multiplied by 9, 4 times 9 is 45. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 times 10 is 90. You add it, it'll give you 9. Any number multiplied by 9 is 9, which is telling us the truth will be true always. A lady said to me that she told her children, always tell the truth. Because when you tell the truth, just told me this Shabbat, when you tell the truth, you're not going to have to think about what you say because you always tell the truth. Right? If you tell a lie, what happens? I have to remember which lie did I tell you because I told you another lie. Which lie? I don't even remember, right? Okay. Another thing that we know about, now I learned a new one this week. That's why I love this class. Why does the Torah starts with the bet and not the aleph? Because if you add up counting from 2, because bet is 2, right? If we count out bet, gimel, dalet is how much? 2 plus 3 plus 4 will give you 9. And if we add up the next 3, 5 plus 6 plus 7 will give you 18, which is 9, and so forth. So that's why the Torah started. Isn't that incredible? I never saw that before. Okay. So what is the antithesis of the emet? What is the antithesis? It's the word sheker, right? And the word sheker, I really should get this ready before class. Sorry. Okay, the word sheker. Sheker, with this one, we're gonna finish sheker. Okay.
and resh. So, y la resh. Huh? Yes. Okay. So the word sheker means lie. So they tell us, first of all, as we see, emet is the first, the middle, and the last. Sheker, this is the shintaf. It's the next to last word, the next to last letter. So it's the number 21 in the order of the alphabet, right? And then these are like, this is the 20th letter, and this is before fresh. So it's like it's all mixed up. See? It's not like an order of the truth. But another thing that they tell us is that the shin in the Torah is not really like this, it's more like this. Shin. So the sheker, if you see the word emet, all the letters have two legs. So the truth has legs, which is what we say, it has something to stand on. But sheker doesn't have legs. Okay? And if we add up the number of sheker, what is it's gonna give us? So shin is 300, resh is 200, and kuf is 100, gives us 600, which is the 6. And isn't it incredible? Because 9 is the number for truth, and if we turn it around, it's the 6. Listen, ladies, I've never taught this in my life. I think it's fascinating, and there's so many lessons to learn. We're gonna leave it here. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Okay.
Hola.
Hold on.
You, Vivian.
Yeah. So next
Shabbat
week,
shalom.
please, only by Zoom, okay? Next week Zoom.
Yes.
Have a good trip.
Okay. Okay. So please fill up your name and Imbal. I don't think I've added you to my classes, no? So so please
And
put your phone again. Yes, your phone.
and this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With pleasure.
Entonces ahorita fueron 2 clases.
Yo creo que sí. I don't really know. No sé.
You want these
Please.
back with you?
You're adding WhatsApp because I have 2 numbers. This is WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Here. Here.
So the class on Wednesday,
Yeah.
because I see on the list
Yeah. You weren't here Wednesday? No.
yesterday, no, this week instead.
Can,
Yeah,
can you
Miss
put
Colin?
can you put a dot?
I don't know because is it 2 classes? Look, it's Tanya.
I think so. I think so.
Here, I put the dots.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have a pen.
Here.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. So it's here.
Me encanta.
¿Te gusta?
Me encanta.
Here, this and this.
No, no me gusta.
So
me
it's
encanta.
not on Wednesday. It's today.
No, eso sí,
No, increíble.
hay mucho para aprender.
Do you want me to-
Además que yo quería saber.
Eso piensa 7:30.
Thank you, Tanya. And thank you.
Okay.
Quería saberlo.
Me tuve que salir por allá. De la clase. Yo estaba en la clase,
Yo te vi.
pero me tuve que salir para
Ok.
poder llegar acá. Porque veníamos en una nube.
Did you like?
I love it.
Yeah?
I'm gonna share the book that we have in the house.
Okay, sure.
Sabina bought me. It's too much for me.
Why?
All the energy and the letters and the
Can you show it to me right now? Because maybe I'll take it on my trip.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll order it.
It's a